Scottie Scheffler, let's just say, our breaking news, because we needed a Monday to finish everything at the RBC Heritage because of this. All the rain during that final round, but the world #1 Scottie Scheffler was locked in no matter what Mother Nature was doing there. You can say the same with Wyndham Clark. Came into this one firing out the gate here. His second hole, par 5, third shot just off the green. A little Texas wedge action. Buries that one for eagle from 30. Puts him 4 strokes behind Scottie. The next hole, birdie putt from 22. Distance was key for Mr. Clark. Dropping that one in. 4 under through 3 holes. He wasn't done. Let's go to 7. Par 3, and then, of course, this is a little shorter. 9-footer, applying some pressure when it comes to Scottie. Then we get to Mr. Scheffler here, looking to become the first player since Tiger Woods since 2006 to win a major, and then the following week. Second hole, third shot there, backside of the green, bump and run action. Oh, just perfection. He likes it. He's like, okay, all right. Eagle there to move 18 under. Over to 12 with Wyndham Clark, and in the thick of it. That drive there in the haywire, then trying to get on the green. But, yeah, that ricochets off the tree. That is what we do on the weekends.
Not me.
Oh, okay. Double bogey there. We're dropped to 15 under. You can see the frustration there, T2, and 665 in that final round. So we get back to Scottie. Back on 5 here after reaching the green in 2 on the par 5 from 33 feet. Looking for the eagle putt just right of the hole. That's okay. We'll tap that in for birdie to move to 19 under. How about Colin Morikawa, who was lurking around there in that final round as well? 11th hole, par 4, birdie putt from 54 feet. Zach, look at this thing moving and tracking. He'll appreciate that.
My.
In for birdie. 15 under with Scheer for 3rd place, and then here comes the rain. Play will be suspended. Look at it. At 4:28 p.m., then pick back up at 7 p.m., leading to a 2-hour and 32-minute delay. So we get back to Scheffler here on 13, where he would resume his round.
Wardrobe change and all.
You would have to. Approach shot on the par 4 from 90 yards out. Rain doesn't matter, 6 feet from the cup. His next shot for birdie. Taps that in. Moves to 20 under. Makes a 5-stroke lead, but wait a minute. We got to finish up again.
It's dark.
Wait a minute. Par 4, trying to save it here from 11. Yeah. Little fist pump there. So 20 under on Sunday. But this morning, all he had to do was get to 18 and call it a day. And here it is. No rain. A little bit of sunshine early for Scottie. Tap it in, sir, because you won again. Scottie Scheffler, winner once again on the tour. Of course, after the Masters, with that win, joins Bernhard Langer since 1985. Only players to win the Masters in RBC in back-to-back weeks. But when you talk about Scottie this whole season, it's been his world. We've just been living in it. Becomes the first player to win 10 or more times at the PGA Tour. Taking a look at the final leaderboard at Hilton Head. Right behind us to hit the gala there is 16 under for 2nd place. Wyndham Clark, we saw him in the highlight there. 15 under with Patrick Cantlay, but it's been Scottie's world, and boy, his 10th win in 121 tour starts. You can't believe a lot what's been going on with him, because you would think he was falling off, maybe fatigue. Doesn't matter. Here's Scottie talking to Amanda Balionis about this round and another win.
And Amanda, let's hear from the champion.
Scottie, you continue to build on your legacy. You've now become the first player since 1985, Bernhard Langer, who won the Masters, and then the week after. Can you describe the sense of accomplishment you have from these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, definitely a lot. You know, last week was fantastic, and then coming into this week, you know, I didn't have my usual prep work, but showed up, rested, ready to go. Got off to a slow start on Thursday, but other than that, I played some really nice golf in the middle of the tournament, and yeah, it's nice to be done.
Your 10th career win, that's a pretty big milestone. It's happened in a really short period of time. Can you describe your evolution as a player, as a champion, from win 1 until now?
Gosh, I'm not really sure. I think I'm just maturing as a person. On the course, I think mentally the last month or so has been as good as I've been mentally in a long time. And I think that's why I'm seeing some of the results, just staying in it, doing the best I can. And a lot of that stuff's easier said than done. But, yeah, I'm proud of how I've been mentally on the course the last bit.
Well, managing your energy is certainly going to be important moving forward. I think this is probably the last time we see you until you become a father. Congratulations and good luck.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Tim.
Yeah, that's a great remark.
Those dead vibes are working for Scottie there. Heading back home to Meredith. Once again, another big-time win. First to win 4 times in 5 starts to the span of PGA Tour since Tiger did it back in 2007. First to win the Masters in RBC Heritage, as I mentioned there, since Langer, and 10th career win, all in February to April. And boy, it has been a ride for #1 and Scottie Scheffler. And thank you for Monday Morning Vibes, because you know what that brings us? Our guys to tap it. Doug Bell, Kyle Porter, of course, tapping it. And I don't know how to put this into words, what we're seeing from Scottie, but complete domination. And I would defer to you, Doug. What are we seeing from Scottie? Yet another win here on the PGA Tour.
Well, Brandon, we need to applaud 4 wins in 5 weeks. Pretty remarkable. But let's go back 2.5 years when he started this run. And you mentioned it, 10 wins now. 2 Masters, 2 Players Championships. In fact, he went back-to-back. Nobody had ever done that prior to him winning a few weeks ago. His scoring average, guys, is 67.3 for the year. The all-time record, Tiger, 24 years ago, was 68.15. So, I mean, he is scoring at an astronomical clip. And the gap between him and Rory McIlroy, who's #2 in the world, is the widest it has been since Tiger 24 years ago. So this is amazing, guys. Think about it. There's about 150 guys who play on a regular basis on the PGA Tour, about 150 in the world. And less than 3% ever come remotely close to the level of perfection that Scottie is playing with right now. We need to really enjoy this. It doesn't come around very often, and he's such a great guy too. He does it with a smile on his face.
Yeah, Doug's right. This does not come around very often. You mentioned the 4 wins, Arnold Palmer, Players, Masters, and then this week at the RBC Heritage. If you played all of those tournaments, you played all 4 rounds of each event, so you played 16 rounds total, your expected score, if you played to field average, is 1 under. If you were just kind of average for all 4 of those events. Scottie Scheffler in those 4 events was 65 under, which is an astonishing number, and he just keeps coming. I mean, I don't know if he is the best player since kind of the run that Tiger had back in the late, in the 2000s. I would call Tiger's run all the way up to like 2008, 9, 10, kind of in that range. And since then, we've had Rory, we've had DJ, we've had Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas. You can throw any of those guys kind of at the top of the list, and it would make sense. I don't know if Scottie's the best out of that group, but I do think, Brandon, he's the most complete. And I think we've seen that so far this year from not only a physical standpoint, but also emotionally and mentally. To bounce back from winning a Masters last week to come back and win this week, 39 straight rounds at or under par to start the year. It's an astonishing run for Scottie Scheffler.
I want to touch on that mental fortitude you kind of mentioned there. And Doug, remember, he had a double bogey at one point, and we were like, uh-oh. But somehow, of course, he's able to get past that. We've seen that. Taking a look here, scored a par, under 20, 19 birdies, 1 eagle, 1 bogey. Again, we relate this to Tiger, but the mental fortitude that we're seeing, Doug, kind of put that into words for us here.
Well, the story was not since Bernard Langer 1985 had somebody gone with a win right after the Masters. That's because normally guys don't play the week after the Masters because you're frazzled mentally after winning the green jacket. But what he did was amazing. After guys 5 holes on Thursday playing with Jordan Spieth, that was the chip in on Sunday. He double bogeyed number 3, guys. He was 1 over par. Jordan Spieth, by the way, was 4 under through his first 5 holes on Thursday, and it appeared that everything had caught up with Scottie from a mental standpoint. But then he told Amanda afterwards that mentally he clicked back into tournament mode. And again, he touched on that with her after the interview today after he finished. Mentally, he's in such a state right now. And listen, these guys, they don't know how they get there. They just don't ever want to leave that capsule, because it is really remarkable how he's totally focused on what he's doing right now. I haven't seen anything like it, guys, since Tiger Stare about 25 years ago.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm referencing. And I think this year I've kind of had my eyes open to. Obviously, he's got physical gifts, right? You can look at the stats, you can look at just the numbers from tournament to tournament or year over year and say, wow, that guy seems like he's very good. But then you watch the way things play out, and the Players' Championship, he fights through an injury to win. The Masters, he's fighting through some insane weather and just guys playing some of the hardest golf that they've ever played in their life. And he makes it look, I don't know about easy, but it was certainly straightforward and simple. And then this week, mentally and emotionally, to just, I think back to 2022 when he won the Masters. I think you get so caught up in winning the Masters, in everything that comes with that. He seemed more grounded this time around. It seemed more straightforward and more normal for him to have won that tournament and then to bounce back the following week and to recover mentally and emotionally from that. That Masters week is so emotionally draining for me, Brandon. I'm not even hitting any shots, and so even more so for a Scottie Scheffler. And I'm just so impressed by just how well-rounded the entire game is right now.
Kyle, I'm curious and want to throw this back at you. It seems like Scottie's been playing every single week. You talk about some of the injuries he's faced, but also he's going to be a dad soon. When's the next time you think we will see world #1 on the course? I'm assuming it's PGA, but maybe sooner. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting. We were talking about this on the First Cut podcast last night because between right now and PGA, you've got not only the Wells Fargo, which is a signature event, but you've also got the old Byron Nelson, the Dallas event, the CJ. It's sponsored by CJ now, but Scottie has always played that event. He's played it for a very long time now. So maybe he sneaks in one of those. I have a hard time thinking that he'll play both of them. I think the safest bet is, you're right, Brandon, probably PGA, but I could see him maybe playing one of those just to get a little bit of prep work in for the PGA.
Guys, I think if all goes well with the baby, and I think it will in the next week or so, I think he's going to play Wells Fargo, a signature event. He'll play the PGA Championship, where he'll be the favorite, and he's going to play at Colonial, the Charles Schwab Cup there. That's obviously a big Texas tournament in his own backyard. So that's when we're going to see him again, I do believe. And just think about this. He has not won a tournament, guys, after April. So we'll see if this streak continues after the baby arrives. Overall, though, guys, listen, the #1 player on the men's side wins the Masters, and then the #1 player on the ladies' side, Nelly Korda, wins her major, the Chevron. So the game of golf right now, I mean, and Kyle can attest to this, is in a pretty good spot on the professional level. Two young superstars, two young Americans are doing it up right now, and we haven't seen this in a long time.
I tell you what, the scary thing for the tour, that baby bump. We've seen guys, how they sail after the baby is born. So I'm just saying, I know he hasn't won the tournament in April like you mentioned there, Doug, but that baby is coming. Appreciate it as always, guys, tapping in this morning. That Monday finish, Scottie Scheffler once again, a 4th win in 5 starts there. Cal Porter as well. And take a look at this, the PGA Championship. When they were talking about it, of course, coming into last week, the RBC, Scottie actually wasn't the favorite. This week, guess what? Vegas is being a little bit smarter. Plus 350, and Rory McIlroy 11-1 with John Rahm and others there, of course, trending towards that next major on the PGA Tour.